earth-shattering to me. The JAMA, Journal of American Medical Association, has said that 600,000 knee surgeries were done this year, and they're estimating by the year 2030, 3.5 million people will go in for knee surgery. How many of those people really need to have that kind of surgery?
I don't think any of them need it.
Really?
None.
Tell me why.
Well, because if you know where the pain comes from in the knee, and it's not in the knee, by the way, it's on the outside of the knee. That's where all the pain fibers are. There are no pain fibers within the knee itself. So when you have a pain, it's all external to the knee. In other words, your cartilage, your ligaments, those are all normal. There's no pain there. The pain is all on the outside of the knee. There's a ligament, very tough ligament that binds the tibia to the femur, and or femur to the tibia.
Okay.
And it is designed to facilitate motion. But when you overstress it, it goes from bone to bone. It's a ligament, and there is severe pain there, especially when you're trying to bear weight. Now, you know, if you have a 250-pound body and you're walking on a knee, it's going to be painful because the ligament can't handle it, the weight, if it's painful.
Right.
It's pulling on the bone. So, but that's all treatable. That's why I say the surgery for a knee should not be done in any way, shape, or form. I learned how to treat all the aspects of the knee pain, and it comes out between 5 and 10 treatments. That's
really.
And a surgery is puts you at a disadvantage pain-wise for at least a year.
Well,
and why would you do that anyway? So what I always tell people is, look, you're going to die with your own knee. We don't want any titanium in your body. And we outline what's wrong. Now, I just wrote an article for my website that is, you can purchase it.
And that's Panozzo.tv. If anyone wants to go to Dr. Panozzo's website, it's PANNOZZO.tv.
.com. The TV is the streaming.
Oh, .com. I'm sorry. It's Panozzo.com. Go right to his website.
Yeah, or pain centers nationwide. We'll get you there also.
And you find out all the information. So I guess what I'm trying to understand is, I don't know if a lot of people don't know that knee replacement surgery was first done in 1968. And a lot of people probably don't know that. And every year it doubles. So it took until 1968. So what did people do before 1968 that had knee problems or thought they had knee problems?
Well, they just got treated with medication, and they survived.
And they survived. Okay.
But you know, the surgeons developed a certain amount of, in conjunction with some companies, to design joints for the express purpose of replacing them.
Well, Doctor, this is very funny. We just got a call, we just got something from our chat room as we're on the air, and someone wants to know. So we shouldn't have knee surgery to replace torn meniscus?
Absolutely correct. Yes.
Okay. So
torn meniscus is not what you think.
Okay. What is it?
It's described as a torn meniscus, but it's actually a ligament pull. Remember, I just said that all pain is from the periphery, the ligament that surrounds the bones. Makes the joint, and that's where the pain is, not inside the joint. And cartilage, I don't know how you could tear cartilage. I really don't. No, it's a flat cartilage, and you could tear something that's up on one side. You can,
right.
And anyway, when they describe a tear, I think they're going overboard. There's no way you can tear anything. You'd have to fall off the Empire State Building to do that. But ordinary pain is not going to be a torn cartilage. Believe me, it doesn't happen. So what it is a sprain.
Okay.
Now, the surgeons will call that a meniscus tear, but it's actually a sprain. So all you have to do is treat the ligament where the pain is, and it goes right out.
And you could do that?
Yeah, we do that every day, yeah.
So, you know, there's
you have to understand it. When I tell you something on the air, I am telling you that it's honest and it's true, and it's what we do every day. We're not making anything up.
Well, 72,000 patients can't be wrong.
Yeah, 72,000.
That's not bad. I mean, that's a good thing. And knowing everyone I've seen come into your office when I come to visit you are all kind of happy. You know, one of the things I want to tell everyone, let your second opinion be your first. Before you go in for surgery, I think it behooves you to at least give Dr. Pinozo a call. Now, if you want to call him in his office after the show, I'm letting everyone know after the show to please call him, 561-381-5800.
Now, a lot of people have been around and they've had all kinds of treatments. So, and I answer my phone myself,
yes, he does.
so I can talk to the. You know, it's a partnership of the patient to the doctor. That's the way I look at it. Whatever I'm doing has to be acceptable to you, and you have to try it, and you have to have trust that it works. But a lot of things they ask is, what do you do? Well, it's very hard to, I don't know, what do you tell people? What do I do? It depends on what the problem is.
Right.
You can't imagine what it is, what the problem is. So anyway, that's why you have to be examined. And then after that, you're not obligated. Once you know what you have and what we can do for it, you can walk out or take it. It depends on you.
So I know I've actually had the time, because the gentleman that produces our whole show has been there, and one of the things that I've noticed is you actually show the patient where the actual problem is and how you could alleviate it. And I think what I've learned from you is no one leaves your office until that pain is done.
That's exactly right. If you still have a pain, I put you in a room for a couple more minutes, and then we'll re-examine you. So obviously, if you still have that pain, I missed it.
Right.
And we're not going to miss it the second time.
No, that's amazing.
I guarantee you that. But usually we get it the first time, and we re-examined right on the spot, and the examination is now normal. Now, that's not for every pain you have, but the one you're most concerned with, that's the one we treat. The first day, you cannot walk out with that same pain. I guarantee you we'll take it out.
So in other words, instead of going in for a surgery and removing the knee and getting it replaced and spending 3 days in the hospital and being on medication, you're saying that you could actually prevent that?
Absolutely.
Wow.
There is no knee that needs to be operated.
So why would anyone go in for surgery? I'm still
They
trying to
get,
figure this out.
Well, they get talked into it. Phrase bone on bone. Well, I have bone on bone. You know, that doesn't
Right.
mean anything to me.
Okay.
That means the cartilage was squeezed, that's all. There is no cartilage or meniscus in your bloodstream. I mean, it's just squeezed due to scar tissue, and that's treatable. We treat scar tissue all the time. And the way you do it is there's a sequence of events that you have to have an injury first, then you have an inflammatory change with pain, and then you have scar tissue as a repair. Now, when you have bone on bone, it's because you have scar tissue. You've been through those two phases. So if we use a steroid, we can lengthen that scar tissue. And when we do that, you have immediate relief. I mean, you know it right then and there that was the right thing to do.
Someone just came in another one of our chat rooms. I mean, it's amazing. Our chat room is getting filled with questions. I feel my knee
Good.
rubbing and poppy. I can't read. And popping.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that tissue? Is that a tissue problem?
It's
Scar tissue?
all the same thing. It's all ligament, scar tissue around the periphery of the knee. Do
Right.
not infer that it's in the knee. It is not.
So whoever these two people who are listening on the chat room that are asking these questions, you know what? If you want any more information after our show, which is over at 11, you could call Dr. Pinozo at 561-381-5800 and let him look at you. And I'm going to tell you right now, I guarantee you that this man will fix you up without having to go in for any medication,
Yes.
and prevent you from all this stuff. Like, what about an arthritic knee? Is there something? Is that
it's,
something an arthritic knee?
It's still the same. It's always
Okay.
the ligament structure around it that is not moving properly due to injury. So we just fix it and get the motion back, and that's
Right.
the end of your pain.
Is that the reason why
It seems simple, but it is simple.
I didn't mean
Once
to
you
interrupt.
relieve the pain,
Right,
you get the motion back.
right.
That's all there is. That's what she wrote. Done.
So you don't have to wear that. They don't have to wear that big brace
No.
that looks kind of stupid, and that
No,
boot.
and you're right. It looks stupid and
Yeah.
is stupid. You don't want to prevent motion because that ensures a surgery, more scar tissue, in other words.
Wow.
So the idea is to mobilize, don't restrict, and that reduces the pain. So you have to think like I do, and it's not out there. I mean, if the doctors go to medical school and learn nothing about this.
Why is that?
Well, because the orthopedic surgeons control it.
Okay, so the
The
okay.
education, anything that has to do with the bone or a ligament, the orthopedic surgeons control it, and they don't
Right.
tell you anything.
So they don't
you come out
study
of
anatomy.
school
right.
and you have to refer to them because you don't know anything.
So I mean, when
So
some,
now, when we put these seminars on, I think we should do that.
I think so too.
Have all the general practitioners, general doctors come and learn what they can do, and they can do a lot of it in their office, and it's an income stream for them.
So in other
And
words,
they will do really good. They're really well with it.
my God, Doc, the chat room is is lighting up. I mean, here's another one. So if I have more mobility, the no inflammation, so it doesn't come back.
It does not come back. No.
Really?
Right.
So who's ever on this chat room, I think it behooves you to call the doctor up. Why won't it come back? Let me.
Well, if you cure the inflammation,
Okay.
how can it come back? It's not there.
Now, a lot of people that I know who
You
go.
could get injured again,
Oh yeah, of course,
but
right.
not the same thing.
But everyone I've seen who has had, I work out in the gym, and everyone I've seen who's had knee surgery still have problems.
Well, because of scar tissue now.
Okay,
The titanium doesn't hurt.
right.
So it's the same condition that you had before you were operated.
So it's not going to go away.
It's not the knee itself, it's the periphery, it's the ligament structure around the knee. And that scar tissue, we treat that too. I mean, you know, we treat any pain. I mean, but why go through that unless you have to?
Well, I guess what made you a graduate of Ohio State Medical School, a doctor who's a real doctor, and I always use that, you know, a real doctor, an MD. What got you into this? I mean, how did you decide?
Well, I'm trying
that,
to make a living like everybody
Right.
else. And unless you offer something that no one else does.
and you're the only one that does this, except for your son.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Wow. And you've been doing this for so many
But
years.
we'd like to have a lot of people do it. I
Okay.
can't treat 6 billion people in the world. You
I know. We're going to take a little break now. Let the advertisers pay for the show. We will be back in about 2 minutes. Thank you.
Have you ever had a business idea that you thought would be a great solution to tough challenges in today's world, but have no idea of how to get started? You don't want to waste investment money on ideas that just don't work. Introducing Health and Wealth Seminars, a sophisticated advertising agency with over 40 years in the ad business. What makes Health and Wealth different from other agencies is that they fit your product into the public's need. They help put together the strategy of your business before you commit thousands of dollars just to find out that those ideas don't work. Health and Wealth Seminars carries advertising contracts, radio and television contracts, and even a production service contract that will cover all of your business needs. Call today, 954-303-9563, and let Health and Wealth Seminars carry your business to the next level. The number is 954-303-9563. And remember that what happens when you don't advertise is nothing. 954-303-9563 is the number you need to get your business started in the right direction. You're listening to Dr. Pinozzo's Sports and Medicine Hour with Dr. Anthony Pinozzo. If you have constant pain and want to talk about how to get rid of it without surgery or medication, or simply want a second opinion, call Dr. Pinozzo now at 1-877-927-6969 to get your pain issues resolved. And now, more of Dr. Pinozzo's Sports and Medicine Hour.
We're back. And we're back. And we're here with Dr. Anthony Pinozzo. As you can see that I'm having a little trouble with the board today. I must have stayed out late last night. Doc, also a question. What about auto accidents? A lot of people, as soon as they go to the auto accident, they go to these places for rehab.
Yeah. Well, rehab, I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, they go on there and they have to do these certain kind of exercises,
Oh, yeah,
and
well-
they're told that they got to stretch this and stretch that, and put your
Yeah.
hand over your head.
First of all, you're dealing with a diagnosis. You cannot have a normal treatment without a proper diagnosis. I tell people that all the time. You need a proper diagnosis. And we do that. That's my life's work. I mean, we
know.
actually give you a proper diagnosis and put my finger right on it.
How many years, Doc?
46.
46 years. So evidently you know what you're doing.
Well, I'm a slow learner, but I guess that's enough time.
But like I said, that's amazing. I mean, it's just great that you were able to do this, and
Well, this whole show is an educational show.
I know.
We're always we're fighting the establishment, which is this over surgery, over chiropractic, over physical therapy, over acupuncture. All of that stuff does not produce.
Acupuncture. I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know anyone that's gone for acupuncture that's actually worked.
It can't work because it's too general. You need a
Right.
diagnosis. Those who do that know acupuncture, but they
Right.
don't know a diagnosis. How can you get treated without a diagnosis?
And they're not
People,
doctors.
Listen. Think. You have to have a diagnosis before you can get treated.
I think it's very important.
Yeah.
That I
Now, if your treatments don't work in 2 days or 3 days, I'm giving 3 days. It works in 1 day in my office. But if you're not getting a result in 3 days, your diagnosis is not proper.
I don't know if anyone heard what the doctor said. You said in your office it works in
Well,
1 day.
the first day, yeah. But so other places, if you're not getting any results in 2 or 3 days, then I think proper diagnosis is not given. They were not aware of proper diagnosis. This is serious business because there's a big industry in treating pain, especially in Florida,
Oh God, yes.
where we had everybody coming in town for narcotic pills.
Right.
I never prescribed any, and I'd get 3 or 4 calls a week.
Really?
And today, even, we still get 2 or 3 a week. And of course, I always say, no, we don't prescribe anything.
That's good.
They're getting harder and harder to find now because the law has tightened up a little bit, which it should have.
Well, I mean, some of the stuff that I always read before I come here, so I could ask you questions, which is funny because I never tell you the questions I'm going to ask, which is really a lot of fun.
He's trying to catch me.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna one of these days I'm gonna catch him, but it doesn't seem it's possible. He really knows his stuff, and that's why I enjoy talking to the doctor. A lot of people now are on these new medications that are coming out, and according to JAMA, they're saying that a lot of these medications can be very hazardous to a person's health because of other medicines that they're taking.
What medication are you talking
I don't know if I should say it on the air, but one of it is called Renex, Renex.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, well, it's supposed to alleviate the pain, and some of the things that they have on the bottle, it could cause liver problems, kidney problems, stomach problems, eye problems. You know, whenever I read all the things that it could cause,
Well, you got to run away from that.
yeah,
thought.
I mean, and what you do doesn't, I guess, doesn't interact with any of the medications anyone's taking.
No. What we use is a steroid, short-acting,
Okay.
which is used universally all over the world. And it's used for brain swelling. It's used for real conditions. It takes inflammation away.
Okay.
And it's 100%. And it's the only thing I use on myself or my family.
Well, I know I've been there when your
use
son
it
was down there giving you
for
shots.
the patients get the same treatment I would get.
Right.
And that's how I know they work. But no, we don't like anything that affects the brain or the liver or the kidneys or anything else.
So now I want to talk to you about something else. For years, people have been coming out with, you ready for this, doctor? Chondroitin to help arthritis, and they're finding out this stuff doesn't work.
Yeah, well,
I have the article right in here, and he says, 0 benefit.
well,
What was it for?
to make money for the
Really?
drug companies, that's all. I mean, it's all it can be because they really didn't understand what causes a joint pain. You learn more on this program than those guys that ever know. I mean, I'm serious about this.
I mean, I'm
You
sitting
learn
here.
where the pain is in the knee, and it's not inside. So they're trying to build up cartilage, but that's not where it is. Cartilage is pain-free. You don't know you have a cartilage.
And they say it comes from animal
But
cartilage.
you see, it's the design of
Right.
the joint, so you don't know that you're bearing weight on it.
Okay.
Now, think, why would you design something like that, where the pain is always not inside where you're bearing weight, but outside? So you don't know you're bearing weight. Otherwise, you wouldn't walk. Your shoulder wouldn't move. If you felt all that,
Right.
it would be a hazard to you. You wouldn't move. I mean, you just wouldn't. So by not having any pain fibers inside the joint, now you have free motion. And that's the way it's designed by God, whoever designed it. That's the way it is.
So a lot of these people that had pain, instead of going to see you or another doctor, they took that. I have trouble with that. Chondroitin, am I saying that right?
Chondroitin sulfate.
And they took that, and then no pain. It just affected a lot of them. According to the article I read, a lot of them had a lot of stomach problems from this, but they still took it.
Well, you can always handle that if it worked, but it doesn't
Right.
work. It can't work unless you treat the ligament itself, which none of these drugs do.
Right.
Okay, aspirin's the only one that does it.
Really.
And,
The wonder drug.
Aspirin's great. Yeah.
Imagine that if they would have kept that as a drug that the FCC regulated, and then you had the FDA regulated, and then you had to go and buy that stuff. How expensive aspirin would be right now?
Yeah, well, we're lucky we had Foxglove and the priest that found out how it worked. I mean, that's great.
Talk to me about epidurals.
Epidurals are too general. It's
Okay.
like if you have a pain somewhere and you get an epidural, it's a general treatment. It's like numbing your diseased tooth. You still have it. It's not going to do anything for it, and it comes back. But the danger of an epidural or a series is that the process that produced the pain in the first place continues, and it gets worse and worse and worse.
Wow.
So you're wasting time when you do that. I mean, take one if you have to, just to get some
What
relief.
is an epidural, by the way?
Well, it's actually numbing all of your nerves.
Really?
Yeah, they put it right in your spine,
Oh, God.
which I don't like that because I don't like to deal with nerves. You
Right.
should never touch a nerve
Oh, my God.
or numb it or anything else. You want to treat what's affecting the nerve, not the nerve itself. So I think that's good thinking, and it's been good for me my whole career. So you need a proper diagnosis. Epidurals do not do that for you.
So,
And
no-
it's not a good treatment for whatever's ailing you. It's not good treatment.
so the diagnosis is the key, and that's what's made your career the way it is, because your diagnosis is pinpoints exactly where that pain is.
Yeah, but you have to understand how the spine, if we're talking about the spine now,
Well, we're going to go to the spine now. Okay, yeah.
that's what epidurals do.
Okay, well, here's a perfect thing. Here's an article in a magazine. I was going to ask you about when spine implants cause paralysis, who's to blame for that?
Well, I would say implants should not be done.
Okay.
Why? You're asking me.
Yes, of course I'm asking you. I mean, you're the guy.
because whoever's putting the implant in
Okay.
does not know where that pain's from. So you want to walk away from that guy. It's not good for you to have an implant to affect your spine. You don't want to touch that thing because the pain is not in the spine at all. It's in the ligament structure around the vertebrae. That's where the pain is. So in order to understand that, you have to understand the physiology of what makes it work. Design and function again. Design and function. It's so important. And physics. This is a physics problem. It's a weight-bearing issue. And the painful problem is due to ligament overstretch.
Right.
Okay, now I'm giving you a little insight on how you have to approach this. So that's the way we do it. We do special films, we do special examinations, and we know where the pain it comes from. Now, we could show people on the films that we do, and a lot of times we'll use a fluoroscope,
Okay.
and we actually see it there. You see the needle there. We show it to everybody when they get up from laying down and say, this is what it looked like, this is the needle, this is where it went. And then in 2-3 minutes, we have pain relief.
Wow.
It works just like that. I'm not making this up. This is the way it is.
So, all these last year, 50,000 people went in for this implant spinal surgery, and now they're finding out that it's linked to paralysis. And so people, I guess they're trying to sue their doctors or sue the people that did this, and they can't seem. And the doctors say, well, there's nothing we could do about that. And I'm reading this article, and I'm saying to myself, wow, these people could have gone to you, and
Yeah.
chances are, I don't want to say chances are, that this would have worked.
Yeah,
They wouldn't have to do this anymore.
I think I always caution people. I say, be very particular about your body. Don't
Yeah.
do things like that. You can look around, you'll find someone that can treat you, but to put implants in, and they don't work anyway.
Really.
They don't work after a while.
It's saying you put a foreign object in your body, I think.
It's
that-
foreign object,
yeah.
and there's scar tissue. Remember, your scar tissue there, infection, all these things. I would not do it for myself.
So everybody, I'm gonna stress this again. You could call Dr. Pinozo directly. He does answer the phone. If he doesn't pick it up right away, he does get back to you. It's 561-381-5800. And something else I want to ask you about. You and I were talking a couple of weeks ago about shingles.
Yes.
And,
shingles.
and what a terrible, terrible thing to have. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
there's no good treatment for shingles out there, and if you go to a physician, they'll prescribe Lyrica or
yeah,
okay. If you read Lyrica,
yeah, Lyrica, that's right.
you read about it. It affects your brain. It's an anti-epileptic.
Okay. I'm going to stop you right there, Doc,
Okay.
because we have to take a break, and I want to come back and talk about this because that's something that everyone seems to be having problems with.
right.
We will be right back with Dr. Pinozzo.
Please welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet network that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet television production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes and live streaming, as well as tape productions. Let AMP2 TV handle all of your television production needs. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP, the number 2.tv. Or call them at 1-866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422.
Pain is the body's way of telling you something is wrong. Surgery can do more harm than good. Pills can become addictive. Dr. Pinozzo uses engineered concepts and weight-bearing physics to resolve this pain and get you greater range of motion. Call today to resolve all those old excuses the medical profession has given you up to now. Call 1-877-927-6969. And now, let's get back to today's show.
We are back with Dr. Pinozzo, and now we're going to take some questions that people have written in, and I'm going to take one here that seems to be one of my favorite ones. It's from Lester, L-E-S-T-O-R, Miami Dolphin team. I am a free agent invited to camp this year. My father told me about the services a few months ago. My problem is that I am not allowed to speak to any outside medical team without the approval of the NFL. Being a free agent, I haven't signed a contract with an agent, and I'm solely responsible for my actions. With all the pill stores and the medical fakes going on in Florida, Alex Rodriguez as one of them, is this procedure considered cheating? Would you be willing to face an NFL medical panel to prove this is not? Oh, wow.
Oh, good question.
Yeah, wow.
Goes to the matter. No,
Whoa.
I would appear anywhere. We don't do anything that is not justifiable on the basis of the anatomy
Amazing.
and physiology. So
Okay.
we can explain that. Now, I don't think the trainer has this kind of training. So if you depend on a trainer to treat you and then you fail and you go to a surgeon, is that good? I don't think that's good. The NFL does not have a middle approach between the trainer and the surgeon,
Okay.
which is a medical doctor like myself who understands the physiology of pain production. That's in my book, Physiology of Pain Production. And so we can show that any day of the week. A lot of times the players are sitting on a bench.
Yeah,
You
that's exactly right.
can't pay a player $20 million for a season and have him sit out for 4 weeks. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's not good management, first of all. We're in contact with an owner of an NFL team. I'm hoping that he sees it my way and asks for a consultation once in a while.
We could probably help him. We could probably help it.
We'll help the team, absolutely.
So Lester, call up the doctor tomorrow or call him up after the show at 561-381-5800. So trainers really are medical people. They're basically like, I guess, like rehab guys that are...
They're like physical therapy or
Right.
less. They're actually less.
Right.
I owned a gym, a big gym, it was 36,000 square feet. And we trained trainers, and we tested
okay.
them there. And it's a bunch of true-false answers and things like that. So they don't have the depth of what I'm talking about. The surgeon does not have the depth of what I'm talking about. They're not trained to do
So you're
this.
willing to go against these guys and show them that you could cure them without surgery.
Absolutely.
Now, that's something, folks, I want
No
everyone to hear.
question about it.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, I love that. So, Lester, I give Dr. Penozzo a call.
I've seen NFL players after they had to retire due to pain, and they're very sorry they didn't meet me first.
Without mentioning the name, tell the story about that one player that came in to see you. I think this should help Lester a little.
Well, there was actually two of them,
Okay.
two Dolphin guys,
Okay.
and they retired because of backache,
Okay.
back pain. They couldn't get it treated and did not want a surgery, so they retired. So they came and see me. I took that pain out in one day. One of them said to me, if I could only have played one more year had I met you, I lost $11 million. Just one more year. And he would have bought me a new car. He was,
Now, what kind of car did he say? I want everyone to hear this.
It was a Ferrari.
Ferrari.
It was a Ferrari, yeah. And I said, well, I'm sorry to meet you also.
That would be nice, bopping around in a nice Ferrari convertible.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, so I guess that's your answer right there. Again, give the doc a call at 561-381-5800.
Any NFL guy, if you're going to retire because of pain, see me first, and we'll do it at night so nobody knows. I mean, you
Right.
deserve the best, and this is it.
And
This
that could
is the best.
and the steroid that's gone won't even be in his system.
No, it doesn't affect anything. They don't test for it. And,
That's amazing.
It's got no downside to it. I don't know why they just don't run in and get it done.
I guess they're afraid, or maybe no one's really.
Yeah, well, new things are new things.
Yeah.
But remember, when you have a lot at stake, you want to do something. about it.
protect that player that's cost you $100 million.
At least you want to have an opinion.
Right.
You don't have to do anything. Just get the opinion.
Come in for a diagnosis. Now, you're willing to go to any of these NFL teams and talk to them about what you do.
Right, absolutely.
All right. Now, we got a lot of questions today that came in. Here's one from my old camping grounds, New York. Mark from New York said, I watched your show for many weeks and have not called because I asked my doctor why couldn't he do what you have said over and over what you do. Let's take that one first. He asked his doctor, why can't he do what you do?
Well, because they're not trained to do it.
Okay.
That's why.
I guess that's the most honest
That's
answer
it.
you could give.
If he knew how to do it, he'd do it.
Now, here's what his doctor told him. My doctor told me that you were describing is Band-Aid for pain and will come back in other forms of inflammation. That's the second part. That's not true, I assume.
His doctor is intellectually dishonest. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
He made a statement that is not true. First
Okay.
of all, he never talked to me. How does he know what I do?
Exactly.
You know, I mean, people have to just sit back and analyze, use your common sense, and find out what's going on, really.
And here's what he said, Doc. He said, keep it simple and just keep taking Tylenol, and this will not complicate things. I want to live complicated. Do you give medication to keep inflammation down? We know that's not true. Why Tylenol? Why does doctor say Tylenol?
Well, because he doesn't know about aspirin, I guess. I have no idea.
Because aspirin's always been the thing for pain. They would say take aspirin, and for colds, no one ever said Tylenol.
Yeah.
Well, so
Well, you know what? The Tylenol, just think back. The drug companies decided to make Tylenol. So every time you turn on your TV or radio, you heard a commercial for Tylenol.
that's right.
And they never mention aspirin.
No.
So they don't mention what works. They mention what they're selling. So you have to kind of put it together. And an informed public is what I like. The better informed you are, the more I like it, because it's
The best
easy,
consumer is your best customer.
it's easier to treat. Yeah.
Well, if you remember, Doc, what was it, maybe about 10 years ago, they said that the most dangerous drug on the planet, it was Tylenol, because if you took too many of them, it could kill you.
Yeah, that's true. It causes liver disease and
Yeah.
kidney disease, yeah.
And it says it right on the bottle now.
Which aspirin does not.
No, that's exactly right.
And I've never told anybody to take Tylenol, ever, in my whole career. It's always been aspirin. Why? It's because it's anti-inflammatory, and those other ones aren't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's it.
Let's see. Here's Doris from our hometown, Miami. My name is Doris from Miami. I was in a bad accident, we were talking about it a little while ago, many years ago, and came to see you for my, lower back and legs. You actually took away my pain and helped me lead a normal life. Thank you. My only question is, why doesn't the medical professions incorporate at least some of your ideas into the fold? They have legalized marijuana for medical use because it makes sense. Why not the method by Dr. Penozzo? Wow, that's great, Doc. I like to hear that. She wants to know why hasn't the medical community realized what it is that you do. Here's someone who had back pain from a car accident, and now she's leading a normal life.
Because
Wow.
the general practitioners, the general doctors, and the internists are very afraid to do anything different. Just think that all the referrals for pain go to an orthopedic surgeon,
Right.
usually. And where do they work?
Hospital.
A hospital.
Yeah.
And who spends more money than anybody else on advertising?
Hospitals and the pill
Hospitals.
guys.
Right. They build these big wings of surgical suites. Somebody's got to pay for all that.
Right.
So just kind of reason it out. It's all there in front of you.
So, folks, let me just say these questions come from our website, Pinozzo.tv. So, if anyone is nervous and they don't want to talk, just go to Pinozzo.tv, and you can ask the questions on the chat room, like a lot of people have done today. And a lot of people send in questions every day to find out what it is that Dr. Pinozzo does. And I always like to hear one of someone that really, I mean, that's a testimony that you can't buy. You know that. That's something that's amazing.
Can't
Here's another
buy.
one. And this is from California. I guess you're becoming famous all over the country now. People are watching you in California. Wow. Scott from California. I work for a film crew here in California, and carrying the needed equipment stresses my arms and back. I have been told I have a bulging disc and need surgery. Can you explain if you can help me now and how?
Yeah, yes,
No.
absolutely. Bulging discs don't mean anything. That's the way they read it. Doesn't tell you why you have a bulging disc.
Right.
So if you knew that, you could treat that cause of the bulging disc, but not the bulging disc.
So,
So
so
you have to think about the physiology of pain production. And just here's what bothers me a lot, and that's the MRI.
okay.
Everybody's using the MRI. But the person who ordered the MRI doesn't examine the back. The person who reads it, the radiologist, doesn't examine the back.
Oh, that's
They're
right.
just reading a film.
Okay.
It's a two-dimensional film, by the way. And those who are using the MRI don't examine the back either. They use the MRI and say, okay, you need surgery for this. The whole thing is baloney. As far
So an
as I'm
MRI
concerned.
doesn't really find where the real problem is.
No,
then?
it doesn't. They
Wow.
read whatever they see, but you can't use that as gospel. You have to examine the patient. You know, when I went to medical school, the first thing they told me was X-rays are only to help you. And MRI is in that class, although it's not an X-ray, but it's in that class. You're still reading a film. It is still to help you, but not to diagnose. You can't diagnose from a two-dimensional inanimate object.
Right.
You have to examine the patient.
And that's what
You have
do.
to know pain pattern. You have to know motions that are painful or not painful. You have to know a lot to diagnose a source of that pain. And we're lucky because we can use a shot or two and nail it. That's a good treatment. Good treatment.
So if everyone out there is afraid to take a shot, let me just tell you this. I'd rather take a shot than go for surgery.
Oh, well, yes. Yes,
No?
indeed.
Let's get some more of these questions. Mike from Boynton Beach, right around your neighborhood here.
Yeah.
My golf game. We'll save the golf questions for later. Okay. My name is Kara. I'm from Fort Lauderdale. I'm a waitress for many, many, many years, and going home with pain on my feet, ankles, knees are very common. The doctors have told me that because I'm on my feet for many hours, this pain is best treated by Tylenol and ice, but will never go away while I work in this job. Can you help me and keep me working pain-free?
Yes.
Well, we found out that with a famous DJ. Came in with ankle pain, bad ankle pain,
Yeah.
and guess what? Tell me the story. It wasn't in the ankle.
Wasn't in the ankle.
So what happens is, what I'm learning...
Well, what I had to do was to go back to the anatomy and physiology and find out what made a flat foot.
Right.
So now we treat flat feet.
Okay.
So we could take that pain right out of the big toe. You don't need a surgery for that. As a matter of fact, it's you should not have a surgery for a toe that hurts due to a flat foot. We can reverse the process and give you an arch, which takes the pressure off of the big toe.
Mm-hmm. And I think what's amazing about her, before she saw you, she was going to a podiatrist,
Yeah,
and it wasn't the ankle.
it wasn't the ankle.
That was amazing. So I think what I want people to understand, Doc, is that because a pain is in one part of the body, it's not that part of the body that's causing the pain. And only you could, and an MRI isn't going to find that out, and an X-ray isn't going to find that out.
That's precisely the point we're trying to make. The MRIs are okay. You could do them, but don't act on it. You can't act on it because you don't know which part is bothering you. You need to know. You need to know a lot of things before you can diagnose the source of that pain.
Oh, here's something funny. Paul from Arizona. This is going to make you laugh. Paul from Arizona. I'm calling his son as soon as I get back from my trip to New York. I have flat feet, and I heard that you can help me with that, and also in pain in my knees. So before I wanted him to hear this, what's Paul's number in Arizona, Doc?
623-776-8686.
And Paul, the gentleman that wrote this from Arizona, I just want to let you know, these are the only 2 people in the country that could do this. He wants to know about flat feet, which we just discussed, so I hope he heard what you just said. So we'll let that one go. So that's great. Tell your son that we're giving him business. I mean, he's got to help Dad a little, right?
I told him to listen to the show.
Has he listened to it? No, okay. Wesley from Boca Raton, I'm a senior that has pain throughout the body. Is it worth working out the different areas of pain, or is it just old age, and that's nothing I could do to relieve it? Is it old age? I guess you want
no.
to know.
No, age has nothing to do with the pain.
Okay.
Any age has the same pain.
Right, so it doesn't matter if you're...
The body's the same no matter if you're a 2-year-old or a 90-year-old.
Right.
It's still the same body. I mean,
and you've treated young children
Yeah.
yet with
We treat-
scoliosis.
yes.
I know that. That's a big thing. Okay, we're going to come back for our last segment to talk to the doctor. This hour seems to be going by faster than it did in previous shows. So
call in.
Or send a chat. We will be back.
Have you ever had a business idea that you thought would be a great solution to tough challenges in today's world, but have no idea of how to get started? You don't want to waste investment money on ideas that just don't work. Introducing Health and Wealth Seminars, a sophisticated advertising agency with over 40 years in the ad business. What makes Health and Wealth different from other agencies is that they fit your product into the public's need. They help put together the strategy of your business before you commit thousands of dollars just to find out that those ideas don't work. Health and Wealth Seminars carries advertising contracts, radio and television contracts, and even a production service contract that will cover all of your business needs. Call today, 954-303-9563, and let Health and Wealth Seminars carry your business to the next level. The number is 954-303-9563. And remember that what happens when you don't advertise is nothing. 954-303-9563 is the number you need to get your business started in the right direction. Dr. Pinozo is a world leader in helping those who have tried everything to get rid of pain in the body. When surgery or pain medicines aren't working, Dr. Pinozo is here to help. Range of motion increased over 65,000 patients that Dr. Pinozo has helped. And now he's here to help you. Call the show now, 1-877-927-6969, and let him help you get on the road to pain-free health.
Okay, we got a call from Matthew. Matthew, doctor could answer your call, so here we go.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
So I'm listening to you guys this morning. It's the first time I've heard of it, and I'm curious just exactly. I have an annular tear in the disc in between L4 and L5. It causes me a lot of low back pain. Travels into my leg. What exactly is the method of treatment that you're using?
Well, you have to understand what the pain infers. It infers inflammation. You can't have a tear. You could have a sprain. That's more accurate. And so we find out where the sprain is by examination. We do a special film also. And then we just put a shot in it. If you want relief right now, you get it right now. We don't like to treat more than that because it's not necessary. So if we put a shot in it and you get relief in 2-3 minutes, by reexamination, by the way, it's not my opinion, it's your opinion, if you get relief or not. And then it doesn't come back, so you have a cure there.
But what's in the shot?
It's just a steroid, just an anti-inflammatory, that's all. Short acting.
Is it a prednisone, or is it what steroid is it?
Well, it's just one that used often every place you go. They use it, hospitals, every place, and it's Decadron actually. What it is.
I'm sorry, what was that you said?
Decadron. Why do you want to know?
I'm just, I mean, to be honest, I'm a massage therapist. I've been studying physical therapy for 2 years, and I had not heard of...
Yeah, I thought so. Well, you're not getting the right education because they're just not teaching it. Remember, we discussed this before. The orthopedic surgeons control your education. You're not going to get it.
Well, I've had a unique education because I grew up with pain not only for myself through playing sports, but my mother had her back when I was very, very little. And I have come to not trust chiropractors and physical therapists and to read everything and question everything. And I had not heard of your methods, so that's why I was calling to ask about it.
Yeah, well, I think you're on the right track. Use your common sense, and but I'm going to tell you right now, we get the relief the same day you walk in. You cannot walk out of the office without having relief of the pain you walked in with. So that should tell you a lot. Try it. I mean, what else can I tell you?
All right, Dr. Spinoza, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, sure.
Thank you so much for calling. Okay, now let's talk about some other calls that have come in, Doc. Mike,
That was a good call, by the way.
No, it was a good call.
Somebody's
No.
using his head, and he should go the next step, which
Right.
is to investigate that. He can learn a lot if he comes in.
Well, he sounds like an educated guy, and
Yeah.
I think what he's doing is the smart thing. And
Yep.
to me, if you have pain and you're educated, try different things that could help you alleviate the pain. Let me give that number out for the gentleman: 561-381-5800.
Right.
Now, Mike from Boynton Beach, Doc wants to know. Let's get into golf now. My golf game over the years hit a high. Now my swing has been slowed down by pain in my shoulder and back. I've seen your show and have watched golf pros with the same problem. My question is that they teach you to work with what you have and stretch the pain out or take medications. If I were to see you, can I go out that afternoon and put it to the test?
Yeah, we would recommend the next day, actually. But, yeah, you'll get the relief the same day you walk in.
I mean, that's amazing.
And we treat golfers all the time. The reason for me coming to Florida in the first place was to learn the physiology of the golf swing, which is not published, and you can't find it anywhere. I tried. You can't find it anywhere. It's based on the anatomy and physiology of the body. The golf swing is actually a medical problem at the tee. So, and that's not taught by your golf instructors. They're walking around half crippled also, and they
Right.
can't play either. I mean, and then they go to the surgeons. Well, we're offering something different than that. We're saying if you come in with that pain, we'll relieve that pain, and you can go back and swing that ball just as good as ever. And as a matter of fact, we'll give you up to 40 yards of distance if we treat you.
Wow.
So the shoulder has a big impact on the golf swing. You cannot work around it, that pain, because now you're putting something else in jeopardy. So now you're going to have two pains. So this is the way it goes. So you want to get it done right. This is new stuff. Try it. It works.
Well, it looks like someone's calling in here. Let me see who this is. They're not giving a name. Hello? Hello? I got you on hold. Okay. Hello? I guess they hung up. Oh, Denise. Hi, Denise. Hey,
Hi.
Denise. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Dr. Pinozzo, do you
Yes.
want a question to ask Dr.
Yeah.
Pinozzo?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
Okay. Is he there right now?
He's right here with me.
I'm listening.
Hi, Doc. I'm calling to tell you a little situation that I have with inflammation in my knees specifically. I have no pain. I have been dancing my whole life, lyrical, ballroom, etc. I'm very active. And I'm 53 now, but it started when I was 17. One day I woke up and my knee was blown out with butter on it. No pain, but it was stiff. And went to a bunch of doctors. They couldn't tell me that there was anything wrong with me. Started going to massage therapy, and in 6 months the inflammation went away. I didn't take anything. I didn't do anything. And again, I had no pain, but the inflammation restricted my range of motion. 2010, all of a sudden, comes back. Same thing, couple of months later, it went away. Now, 2014, it happened again. So I went to an orthopedic. I went to two.
Well, look, you want me to tell you, the pain is in the periphery, the ligament that holds those two bones together. Now, there's a way of examining for that, and we don't miss those things, by the way. We're looking for it, actually, and we actually treat these things. Now, if you've gone to surgeons, they don't treat this. Believe me, they don't do the same work. They do surgery, which is not the same work. So you want to get an opinion on that, I guarantee you that pain will come out. But any stiffness is actually a pain. It's just a minor pain.
Okay. Well, anyway, I went to two orthopedics, and one told me to have physical therapy. The other one told me to have arthroscopic surgery. I didn't have the surgery, of course. I had an MRI. They told me I had chronomalacia, patella.
Yeah, well, that means that you're bearing weight on the patella, which is abnormal. The patella is not a part of the knee. The knee is under that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's treatable. Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm up to that I have inflammation in my other knee. So now I have water on both of the knees, no pain, very little stiffness in the morning. I'm perfectly fine.
Well, why don't you go ahead and make an appointment, and we'll take care of that.
Denise, let me give you the doctor's number because we're running. The show is ending soon. You can call the doctor at 561-381-5800. He'll answer the phone and he'll talk to you. Thank you so much for calling, Denise. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now we just got another thing from our Facebook page. Doc, this is really weird. I was told foods create more inflammation in my body. Will foods change inflammation?
No.
Okay. That sounds like something that... So in other words, you got to stop eating, so...
You have to remember that any food you eat gets broken down in the stomach.
Right.
That's what
I even knew that, and I'm not a doctor.
This is what the stomach and intestine do. They break the food down to amino acids and simple fats, and those get absorbed in your intestine.
Right.
So that's the physiology of it. So, there's no way that anything you eat is going to cause any problem like that unless you're eating hydrochloric acid. I don't see how you could change it.
That doesn't taste that good, does it? No, I don't think so. Okay, our last question before we have this show went by so fast. Madeline from Delray, I watched your show on Pinozzo.tv and wanted to know when will you be back at the PGA store to do a seminar? I was out of town when you did it, and I want more information before making an appointment. Okay, well, guess what? We should be there in about 2 more weeks, and we will start promoting it on our show and on different radio stations. If you want really more information about Dr. Pinozzo, you could go to Pinozzo.tv, or you could go to... or call him at his direct number, which he will be more than happy to answer at any time, which is 561-381-5800. And Dr. Pinozzo does get back to you, even when he's busy.
Yeah, because you have to understand, we don't treat people a long time. I mean,
Right.
1 or 2 days, and that's it. So, I answer the phone, we make appointments, and I'll tell you if I can help you over the phone. We have that kind of experience. So.
And it's
Try
nice
it.
that you
It's
answer the
good.
phone. It makes people feel like, that you really care.
Yeah.
And not only that, is the doctor will tell you exactly, if you're really in really, really bad pain, the doctor
Yeah, if
has...
you're in really bad pain and can't exist, can't work, we'll bring you in early.
Yeah, we'll bring him in.
All right,
Well,
thanks so much.
I can see by the old clock on the wall that it's time to say goodbye. We'll be back again next week, same time. And for all you people that are still holding, call in early. Thank you very much. And again, you can reach Dr. Pinozzo at 561-381-5800. Until then, have a great Sunday and enjoy.
This has been the Dr. Pinozzo Sports and Medicine Hour with Dr. Anthony Pinozzo. If you spend 5 minutes with Dr. Pinozzo, you'll see he genuinely enjoys helping others. Visit Dr. Pinozzo online at www.paincentersnationwide.com or call him at 561-381-5800. Dr. Pinozzo will consult with you to determine the best solution to your pain needs. 561-381-5800 is the number to call, even if it's just for a second opinion. Join Dr. Pinozzo next week when he brings you more important information on the physics of weight-bearing and engineered concepts for the body.
Real Radio 94.3.
All leases 42 months with $29.95.